The time has come. Finally. This is the preview video I've been waiting all freaking year to make, boys. Vikings, Packers. Ha ha. Oh, yes. The time has come. The stakes are high. The NFC North lie in the balance. And also, I just really hate the Green Bay Packers, so let's get into it. Yeah. Minnesota, Green Bay, Monday Night Football, US Bank Stadium. Let's fucking go. The NFC playoffs are on the line. I should say more of the playoff seeding is on the line, because at this point, both the Vikings and Packers, unless, well, something catastrophic happens, are more than likely going to be in the playoffs. Which, again, as a Minnesota Vikings fan, that shit tends to happen to us. Far more than I would like. And I think far more than most Vikings fans, well, pretty much any Vikings fans would like. The East. Vikings, Packers. Ooh. Yeah, and I still love how all the media talks about the Vikings, how they haven't beaten anybody with a winning record. They haven't beaten any good teams. How about the Packers? Guess what? They also haven't really had that great of a winning. They really haven't had those awesome, tremendous, stellar wins. Dare I say the Packers' best win was the Vikings, week 2. And possibly the Bears, but still, their best win was arguably against the Vikings. Because they played the exact same teams we did, minus the NFC West and NFC South. But they got absolutely mollywomped by the 49ers. Which, if the Vikings follow a similar pattern, should have pretty much equal success. Because, well, let's just say the NFC North, the Vikings and Packers are very, very similar to each other. I mean, very similar to each other. Both of them have a really hot quarterback in terms of stats, I should say. I mean, it's your personal preference. But anyway, they both have a run game that they can rely on. I will say the Vikings, though, do have the edge in the run game. Even though Dalvin Cook, sounds like there's conflicting reports from both Adam Schefter and Zimmer on, well, what's going on. But let's just say I could see the Vikings shutting down Dalvin, especially if we do make the playoffs and we're basically set in stone where we're position-wise. It makes no sense for us to rush him in, especially with the way Mike Boone and Amir Abdullah have looked recently, especially against the Chargers in that last game. The Packers' defense has gaping holes. The Vikings' defense has gaping holes. So, yeah. Again, very, very similar teams. By the way, the Vikings are currently 3-0 against the Packers at US Bank Stadium. And like I said before, this game is at US Bank Stadium. Can it be Monday already? I mean, good gosh. I love these games, especially when they have meaning to them. And this game has a lot of meaning to it. Because the Vikings can basically clinch a playoff spot Monday night, beating the Packers. I'm pretty sure also if the 49ers beat the Rams this Saturday too, I think the Vikings automatically clinch the 6th seed. But better be safe than sorry, let's just win. Because again, I freaking hate the Packers. But that's neither here nor there. Especially being a nice little Christmas present to beat the Packers. Really rain on their parade. So yeah, again, keys to this game now. Well, as I stated before, the Vikings and Packers are very similar to each other. Both of them rely on their quarterbacks to really be the bulk of their team. Both of them have a decent run game. Both of them have a decent offensive line. Both of them have gaping holes on their defense, and both of them have decent pass rushes. Even though I will say, though, the Vikings' pass rush is probably a little bit better than the Packers. Our defense overall is a little bit better than the Packers. I will say, though, they have some pretty big weapons on the Packers side in, Devontae Adams, of course. This Allen Lazard has really been stepping up for them, too. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure most Packers fans pretty much most Packers fans would agree that Jimmy Graham is not working out for them. But yeah. And as I said, this will be redemption for week 2, when Cousins had the chance to beat the Packers and threw a boneheaded interception. And of course, special teams, they have a really good kicker in Mason Crosby. Dan Bailey's been looking pretty good this year. And, yeah. Also, with it being Packers week, if the Vikings lose to the Green Bay Packers on Monday night, I will be wearing my Amon Green jersey for the recap. And if the Vikings win, well, of course, I'll be wearing my Vikings stuff. But still, I freaking hate the Packers with a passion. Big rivalry game. Monday night, Kirk Cousins has a chance to shut the critics up and get a big momentum win moving forward. Gosh, that'll be so nice when he can finally get that goose egg for wins off for Monday night. Especially, again, just for confidence sakes. Because, again, Cousins has looked absolutely wonderful recently. I mean, again, there's a few games that he's had to win. And he has. And there's a couple games where, well, yeah. But again, the NFC absolutely makes no freaking sense this year. So, yeah, just ask the 49ers. Oh, no, just ask the Falcons. What the hell is up with the Falcons beating really great teams and yet shooting themselves in the foot with sub-great teams? So, yeah. Minnesota, Green Bay, Monday night. Let's go, Vikes. Kick some cheesehead ass. And let's grate the cheese and move on to 11-4. Let's fucking go. So until we meet again, this is Jacob. SKOL and fuck Green Bay.